Hey guys, thank you for joining me today, Godspot. I want to talk to you about the last meeting theory. This is a really interesting concept. In Matthew 26, 17 through 30, we have the record of the Last Supper, which initiated the tradition of taking or receiving communion within every church around the world. And so this dinner was the Last Supper. It's called the Last Supper because it's sort of like the last meeting theory. This is the last time that the disciples of Jesus would ever meet with him as he was. Because we know he was buried, he was killed, he died, he resurrected. And although he reappeared to the disciples, it was different. The relationship had changed. So let's think about the last meeting theory for a moment. This is where people disappear from our lives without any real formal goodbyes or closure. And it's like you know them and they were there and you're really close to them, they're really significant to you, but for whatever reason, it's faded and you don't really know why. And they might even remain in the same city, the same suburb, and be close nearby physically. But the last meeting theory poses the idea that every relationship serves a purpose. It teaches us lessons. It can be a guiding growth at that time in that relationship, or even just helping navigate a certain phase in life that we're facing at the time. And then once that purpose is fulfilled, separation takes place and it just naturally ends, like it just fades and you don't really know why. So the absence, the last meeting theory is the absence acts as a form of closure, signaling that that chapter is now closed in your life. So the last meeting theory shows us there are some emotional and psychological implications out of this. When you experience a last meeting and it fades, and you don't really know why, it can leave you feeling surreal or even sad because there really was no explicit farewell. This theory, though, does encourage you to accept that it's happened, suggesting that closure doesn't always require a dramatic conversation. Instead, it recognizes that the relationship has served its role and it allows individuals to process the ending and you can move forward. And it also emphasizes the importance of letting go, because I subscribe to the theory that not everybody is meant to stay in your life forever. And this does happen. Now, there's also a spiritual perspective I want to bring to the table. From a spiritual viewpoint, the last meeting theory frames these separations as divinely timed events. That each encounter is seen as a sacred connection, and departures occur when the spiritual contract is fulfilled. In other words, God brings you people at the right person at the right time in the right place. They're there for a reason and they're there for a season. And so that's really important. And I'm sure there are people in your life, I've got people in my life that were very significant years ago, and today I don't have that same interaction with them. And I sometimes get with them thinking of the old days, but it's different. The relationship has changed because they're only there for a season and for a specific reason, and now I need to learn to move on. So there's a couple of practical takeaways I want to give you. First is acceptance. Understand that some relationships will end naturally without conflict or closure. It's going to happen. Number two, reflection. Recognize the lessons that are learned from each person and appreciate their role in part of your journey. Number three, emotional mindfulness. This means that with every interaction you have with people, treat them with care, knowing that any meeting could be the last meeting and it could fade. You want to always make sure you're intentional with them. And number four is growth perspective. Use the absence of certain people as an opportunity to embrace new experiences and understand you're at a different level and you've grown and you've outgrown possibly that relationship. Doesn't mean you're better, you've just outgrown. So the last meeting theory ultimately teaches that endings are a natural part of life. And I want to just leave this with you. It's meant to be a cloak, the last meeting theory, to give life, everyday life meaning. Here it is. Let it push you to be more intentional, to love harder, to forgive sooner, and hold people longer. Because one day you look back and they're gone. Hope this helps you today. Hit the like button, share it with someone else. Thanks for listening.